Hi guys, I want to give an update video on this Arizona Aravaipa Avocado. This is one I picked up from Seamus O'Leary. I planted it in 2018. It's been about 4 years now. It's looking a little sparse, and that's because I pruned it. I made some pretty big pruning cuts on this tree. It's grown really tall. This branch, this is actually a vertical branch that I cut this year. I've decided to try to keep the tree to a central leader. It leans a little bit, but that's fine because I don't want it growing right up next to the house. I want it to get a little bit of space so it can create a little bit of a canopy. But at some point I may top the tree to keep it lower for purpose of harvesting fruit easier. A lot of the growth on this, so it'll send out its main branches from the trunk, and then these branches will have this vertical growth. And I've seen citrus do this too, where they'll just grow up, and then once it gets fruit on it, it will pull the branch down, so you'll get this nice kind of arcing growth. But I didn't have fruit. I had a little bit of fruit form when I initially planted it, but the years after that I had there's been no fruit on this tree. So I have all these branches that have been growing vertical and haven't been weighed down, so I've had to make some pruning cuts, and that's why the tree looks pretty open right here. You're seeing a lot of the kind of the summer foliage where it gets crispy, like here. This is typical for summer, for kind of end of summers, to see a lot of brown leaves. But when we get into the fall here, it's going to start dropping these leaves. It'll drop almost all of these leaves. They'll turn yellow, and it'll get a nice new flush that will then take it through winter. And the leaves will be really big and really beautiful. Same thing in the spring. Sometimes coming out of winter, you might have a little bit of winter damage. That's, and the leaves might not be looking so hot, and then you'll get a spring flush, which will take it into summer. So, yeah, tree is doing well. It's barked up nicely. I have it on the east side of my house. So, as you can see, it's a little sunburned. I mean, this is a lot of sunburn actually here, but you don't see too much of that. See, if you look up in there, those kind of exposed branches look fine. Yeah, overall, the tree is what I consider to be healthy. Down here, every year, I buy some of those bags of mulch from Lowe's. I have a Lowe's that's nearby. You can see the mycorrhiza or other fungus kind of growing in there. What I'll do is, in the spring, this mulch that hasn't decomposed, I will scrape that. I'll remove that and keep it, and then it'll make up the bottommost layer. I'll take the mulch that's decomposed into this really fine earth. There's like earthworms and other things in here, and I'll take that and I'll use it in my garden boxes. So new mulch goes on top, and I try to stack it up pretty high and to keep the roots moist and cool, and that seems to really work out well for this tree. Anyways, I'm thinking next year is going to be the year that we're going to get some fruit on this tree. I think part of the problem is I've fertilized it with heavy nitrogen, but it's been lacking the P and the K, so it's encouraged lots of green leafy growth, but hasn't encouraged any fruit production. So I'm going to change that up and change up the fertilizer I use over the kind of the winter spring period, and hopefully we'll get some fruit next year. Thanks for watching.